Hey guys, Agent Luke here. Just want to give you an update on flight planning. So last time we spoke, I was able to show you guys how the Almanac is able to show and load grids and waypoints in your system. But I think you'll be quite impressed by the latest developments here. So just a quick recap. We've got multiple grids sitting around each other right now. We've got Mother Testing Platform 0 over there. We're going to use Mother Testing Platform 2 right here. And we've also got a third. Let's find him quickly there. There he is way over there. And so we can see them all loaded here on the map display that we've got set up. This works on LCDs and in the cockpit, but I will caution you the cockpits didn't look so great, so I would hold off using those just yet. But let's get into what flight planning looks like now. So we'll jump into our cockpit. One thing I'll point out to you right away is we've got multiple waypoints. So if we give ourselves just some situational awareness, we are close to waypoint 2. We have waypoint 1 about 68 meters away, and then waypoint 3 over on the right-hand side of the screen about 80 meters away. And we want to fly that route. So if you remember from previous videos, we can go into Mother, and inside custom data, we have our preset list of commands that we've been able to define. So we've got a reset command, a rainbow command. I'll run those quickly in a sec just to remind you. But then we've also got a couple flight testing commands that I've set up with flight testing. So what we're going to do is run through each of these, and we're going to see how they work on the screen. So the first one is just a simple flight plan. It's going to run from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2 to waypoint 3, and it's going to do this all automatically with the push of a button. So that's our FP test. So we're going to do that one first. So we're going to go down. We've made a small modification, so we'll recompile, and then we're just going to run FP test, and we're going to see the autopilot's now engaged with our indicator. We also get some feedback there, and we'll notice the flight plan has now appeared on our map. And we are at this point, Mother Testing Platform 2, flying towards waypoint 1. You'll notice on the top left-hand side of the screen as well, we've got which waypoint is our next waypoint, and you'll notice here in about 5 seconds, when we get within a couple meters of that waypoint, it's going to transition, and we're going to start our path towards waypoint 2. Just give it 1 sec. Boom, there we go. So the ship will automatically turn, and now it's flying towards its next waypoint. And it's going to run the entirety of this flight plan. So we'll let it do that. And while we're going, we might as well just kind of review some of the commands. So remember I was mentioning before I had a reset command. So if I'm hitting 8, I've got Mother programmed in there to reset all the lights, reset all the pistons, all the hinges, all the rotors. So they go all back to their reset position. And now quite the inverse, we also saw that rainbow command. If I push rainbow, we're going to see all of those blocks move in the way that they just were. And of course, if I want to change the angles, change the distances on the pistons, it doesn't really matter. I just have to go into custom data, modify one value, and the whole automation remains the same. So I actually only have to enter one menu. I don't have to mess with any timer blocks. I don't have to mess with any of the hinges, rotors, or pistons themselves. And it all happens pretty much out of the box. So we'll give those a reset again, just so that red light isn't shining in our eyes. We'll notice here on the flight plan, we're going to approach waypoint 3, and when that happens, our flight plan is going to disappear. And that is, it will no longer be our active flight plan because we've completed it. There you go. Flight plan complete. And of course, if we look on the Mother display, we'll also get some visual feedback on the status of that flight plan. To make that a little easier, we can actually push a debug screen. And we've got all of our command inputs and our waypoint monitoring all in here as well. So if you ever need to know kind of what the system is doing, this is kind of an underlying info log that you'll have access to if you want, so that you can keep track of what the system is actually doing under the hood. Now, of course, that's pretty cool, but we can also do a few more things. So remember I mentioned, and if you've seen the documentation, we can actually make flight plans run continuously. We can make flight plans run in the context of a round trip. So we're going to do that next. So if we go back to our custom data, and Mother, we'll notice we have 2 more flight plans. We've got the flight plan and the R for returning. You'll notice the capital R at the end of the flight plan string, and flight plan test continuous, capital C at the end of the flight plan string. Returning just means it'll run the flight plan in order, and then it'll reverse it. So it'll fly from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2, back to waypoint 1. If we run a continuous flight plan, it's going to do this forever. So it's going to go waypoint 1 to 2 to 1 to 2 to 1. This is more common for like a patrol pathway, you could say, whereas return is go somewhere, do something, come back. So we'll run those as well, just so you can see what those look like. So if we go down here, we'll do a recompile just in case. We are going to do our return trip on this one. This is a shorter route. It's not going to be 3 waypoints. It'll just be 2. But you'll notice it again appears on the screen. And right now we're going to notice our platform's kind of out here in the bottom right corner, flying towards it now. All of this is updating in real time, and of course, I'll show you what this looks like on another grid. So if we go over here to, who's this, MTP0, we're going to look on his printout, and we're going to notice that he can actually see MTP2 moving through space. So these grids are communicating in real time. You can't see the flight plan. I don't want to bog down every grid with every flight plan, but you will have situational awareness that grids around you are in motion, which is a pretty important stepping stone, I think, to enable some more features built on top of flight planning and the Almanac system that's built into Mother. So we'll see the grid there in the background. He's moving around. He's moving between his points. Of course, he's doing his return trip now, as I understand. So if we jump back inside of him, we'll get a good sense of how this works. So yeah, he's returning back to his initial waypoint now. Nope, sorry, he's going to waypoint 2. So he will do a turnaround. We'll let him do that. And he'll tag waypoint 2. Right now the tolerance is 5 meters. I find this works pretty well. When it comes to precise maneuvers like auto docking, which I'm still exploring, this may not be good enough, but at least for now, I find when you're talking about the context of space, 5 meters is a drop in the bucket. And the tolerances seem to work really well with the remote control block. There we go. So we'll notice he's returning now to waypoint 1. And that will be what we consider a round trip. So as soon as we tag waypoint 1, we should see the flight plan deactivate. And there you have it. So that's navigation in a nutshell. I have a few ideas of where I want to go. Some of the comments in the videos and on the workshop have mentioned running commands at specific waypoints, and this is absolutely something that's a high priority in the roadmap. So I do envision a system where you can, send a flight plan to a grid, and you can tell it to do specific things at specific waypoints in time. The opportunities here are pretty much endless, so I'm very excited to get that one out the door soon. So stay tuned. Thanks.